Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. This is Dr. Patugi. I'm the instructor of CST750 Computer System Security this semester with you. And I am making this recording to walk you through the logistics of this course, topics that we will be covering, office hour, textbooks, and stuff like that. Of course, all of these information are also included in the course syllabus, which is already populated on Blackboard. You can find it on Blackboard. But I'm recording this video because sometimes I feel that it might be easier for you to get that piece of information through the recording like this. So I will be talking about myself. So my name's, as I mentioned, Ahmad Patugi. My office, I'm located at Price Hall 210. I got my PhD in 2011 from Sharif University of Technology, and my dissertation was on the security and reliability of multiprocessor systems, which are now being used in various different systems and devices. So, as for experiences and appointments, I am currently an associate professor, and I've appointed to this rank this past summer. I am also the Associate Director of Center of Excellence for Cybersecurity Research and Education and Outreach. And this is a cybersecurity center for the university that serves the entire campus. So I will be talking a lot during the course about this center, and probably I'll send emails to you, encourage you to participate in research projects that we have in the center. Before that, I was an assistant professor at University of Central Arkansas, and I also was a research scholar, a senior research scholar at Boston University in Massachusetts. So I've been in academia probably more than 2 decades, and I've been teaching around the same time. So teaching is a very great experience for me, and I'm very interested always about teaching because it allows me to grow and expand and learn as well. So I'm very interested and passionate about teaching, but I'm also very experienced and feel comfortable when teaching courses, especially courses in my area, which cybersecurity is, of course, one of my major areas. Other fields of study or research that I've been involving in, I also listed them here. I've been doing research in embedded systems and reliability and security. So this course doesn't go that level, but reliability and security are two properties for our computer systems that I have mentioned in some of my research papers, that they're very close and they go hand in hand, and sometimes they can be used interchangeably. Of course, not all the time, but in some cases, some occasions, some situation, this is true. Okay. About our course, of course, you know the name of the course, Computer System Security, CSC 750. As a graduate level course at CSC department, it doesn't have any prerequisite, but it doesn't mean that if you it doesn't mean that you basically don't know anything uh, uh, as a prior knowledge. It's good if you have some knowledge on computer architecture and computer networking. It's good if you have some prior knowledge on algorithms. And I have noticed over the time that some of the students enrolled in this course might not have that background or that prior knowledge. That is why I use the first week of the class in order to cover that type of prior knowledge that I think is needed for computer systems, so that when we talk about the security of computer systems, we are all on the same page and we have the same understanding about a computer system. Okay, my email address, my contact information is here, and the policies that this course will be following are also linked here, but of course you can find them in the course syllabus as well. So, as you know, the course is going to be offered online, so we don't have any face-to-face in-person classes, which is good and bad. I like online classes because it gives flexibility both to instructor and students. But of course, you will feel less connected to the course, and that happens by their nature. It's natural for online courses. And that's a negative side of online courses. So And I tried, and I've been trying, and I will be trying in this course to minimize that part. Because of that, it's the uh, strategy that I take. So I will go over the slides that I've prepared for the course, and I basically teach them, assuming that you're sitting in class, and I upload those video recordings every week, and you're supposed to watch those video recordings. And of course, I say which portions of the course are associated, or which portions of the textbook are associated with the lecture that I'm giving you. And you're more than welcome to go and read the textbook as well. However, the video recording most of the time should suffice, should be enough for you to learn that topic, that subject that I'll be teaching. So again, there is no in-person face-to-face class, but there will be asynchronous um, videos that I record and I upload, and you're supposed to watch those videos. Office hours, um, I have again, based on the experience that I've got over semesters of teaching this course, I noticed that some of our students are in the West Coast, and the time zone might be different. So that is why the office hours is set something that works for both for the East Coast and West Coast students participating in this class. So for the office hours, there is a Zoom link in Syllabus, and Zoom information in Syllabus. You can jump in that Zoom link, and either I or the course TA will be there answering your concern or question. If it is not required, it is not mandatory, you take an appointment, but it would be recommended because we only take one student at a time. So if you join to the office hour Zoom link, and you are in a waiting room, you are not admitted, that means that someone else is there, and we are responding to them. So if you email ahead of time, we can set 15 minutes or 20 minutes based on the need that you have for you, and we know your contact information, and you will be admitted exactly on that time. So office hours are open for you to join at any time during that duration. But of course, shooting email ahead of that and getting a certain time for you reserved would be something that I recommend. Okay, so again, the course is online. Everything is going to be on Blackboard. There is no face-to-face communication. And if you go on Blackboard, under the learning module that you see it here, I'll create multiple folders for each lecture, and I upload videos for each lecture under that folder. For example, the module 0 is Introduction to Computing Systems, which is already uploaded at the time that I'm recording this video. And when you go there, you'll find those videos. You can watch those videos. Basically, you're supposed to watch those videos, and I say how you're uh, mandated to do that. And and if you have any question, of course, you can come to me. And assignments, announcement, anything about this course will be communicated with you through Blackboard. So we have as I mentioned, we have the learning module section, we have the syllabus, and we have the announcement section. And if any assignment, it goes to the corresponding lecture folder. Okay. So one thing about this course is that this is a graduate level course, and is subject to research, or exposing you to research and giving you some research tasks. And because of that, in this course, what I'll be doing is that I will assign you a research project. So the research project is to study and review the literature about the security vulnerabilities or security attacks of different applications or different domains. For example, security attacks specifically for IoT systems, security attack for computer network, security attack or vulnerabilities of database systems. And I'll be giving you the list of research projects sometime in the week 7 of the class. And then I will ask you to team up, teams of maximum of 3 students. And then you are supposed to read and draft a literature review out of some papers which you will be finding under that topic. So research project title will be out in week 7, and then you have that week to team up. You have that week to identify research papers that you want to read. It will be 3 research paper for each team member. So for example, if your team has 3 members, that means that you're supposed to read at least 9 papers, each of you 3 papers. Or if your team has 2 members, you're supposed to read 6 papers, and so on. And I don't recommend teams of 1. A minimum, probably I would say teams of 2, maximum teams of 3. And then you're supposed to read those papers, exchange your understanding and reading various, probably multiple meetings that you will be having with your teammate, and then come up with a comprehensive literature review draft document and a presentation about that your project. And all of these will be communicated with you when the time for each of the steps of the project come, and you will be receiving information and guideline about, for example, how to do literature review, how to find papers related to your topic, what is a literature review, what am I supposed to write when it comes to a literature review, how deep should I get to the technical aspect of each paper, and stuff like that. Or my presentation, how long should it be? Or the literature review document or report that I'll be giving, that I call it a course paper in this course. The course paper, how long should it be? What is the format? For any of these, I'll be giving you a lot of resources and information so that you can exactly know what you're supposed to do. But I'm just for now, giving you the high level sketch of what is going to be the research plan for this course. Okay, next thing that I would like to cover for this recording is the topics that we will be covering in this course. Again, as I mentioned, I use the first week and I call it lecture 0 to introduce computing systems. So what are computer systems? When we say computer system, what are the major components and how each of these components might be subject to security threats, might be subject to privacy threats. For example, what's the role of memory in a computer system, and what type of leaks or threats might be associated with memory? What are the processing components doing in a computer system, and how it might be subject to some sort of security issues? So we talk about this. In lecture 1, we talk about risks and trust in computer systems. We start with the computer system, with the computer security concepts. We talk about the well-known research security triangle, and that is properties that we would like to see now: secure computer systems, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. I'll talk about them, introduce them, and we go over that. There are 2 more, we introduce them. We talk about threats, attack, and assets, and other subjects under this topic. And then in lecture 2, we talk about cyber attacks. What are cyber attacks? What are malware? Excuse me. What are different types of malwares? How they can threaten a computer system, and what type of security property might be threatened by each. For example, what a malware does. Does it impact our privacy, or does it impact our availability or confidentiality, or what? We talk about these. We talk about propagation of these malwares. In the second part, we talk about denial of service attacks, which are separate types of attack rather than malwares. And in lecture 3, so we will be having our first exam out of lecture 0, 1, and 2. And I'll be talking about it, giving you the date of that. And then after that, we'll be going to a different topic, which is cryptography and hash. Cryptography is a key, uh, I would say, technique when it comes to security. Cryptography is a major tool used by thousands of researchers and developers in order to achieve confidentiality. And confidentiality is very important. So we talk about the concept of cryptography. We talk about two major categories of cryptographic algorithms: symmetric and asymmetric algorithms. And we get to details of one or two at least. Basically, I'll walk you through the exact steps that an uh, encryption algorithm take. In this case, that's going to be DES. Um, and we'll see how it works. And that is data encryption standard. We'll go step by step, we'll follow and we'll see how it works. This lecture might look a little bit math loaded, but that's the nature of cryptography, and we need to understand at least one of the cryptographic algorithm. Basically, I try to introduce one of the easiest. Others are, of course, much more complicated. But even this one, the DES, will look like a little bit math loaded. But that's the nature of, like I said, cryptographic algorithm, and we want to see how they work, and then how hash functions can do a little bit low heavy computations and do something close to cryptography for us. Lectures 4 and 5 are basically the application, and then I'm sorry, I just forgot to say that we do our second exam after lecture 3. So lecture 3, which is cryptography, when we finish that lecture, we'll take the exam. In lectures 4 and 5, we basically talk about the application of those cryptographic algorithms. We talk authentication and access control, and then we talk about application security or intrusion detection and prevention systems. And then lecture 6, if we get to that, will be cloud and IoT security. This is a lecture that most of the semesters, when I get to this, it's very close to the final exam. So I teach this, but I don't ask it in the final exam. So basically, your final exam will be lectures 4 and 5. Okay, textbook of the class is optional. If you like, you can, of course, I would recommend buying this textbook and having it. It's not that expensive, about $90. Computer Security Principle and Practice by William Stalling. In the latest edition, which is the 5th edition, he added the main author, which is Dr. William Stalling, added a second author, Dr. Laura Brown. And of course, it's a great book. I would recommend having this book, but you don't have to. There are options for you to purchase digital versions or rent the digital version for a given duration of time. They're all up to you. I will go over and give you the detail of the book for the chapters and sections that we will be using. This book is probably beyond, it covers some topics and subjects which are beyond our course. Basically, we don't have time to cover them. They are not beyond computer security. They're related to computer security, but we don't have time to cover them. It goes to network security. It goes to security operations center. It goes to risk assessment and management, which can be seen as a separate graduate level courses that we don't have time to go over them. Anyhow, we will be covering a portion of and some chapters of this book, and you are more than welcome to either buy the book or just stand on the lectures or videos that I'm recording for you. Okay, when it comes to the exam and test that we have, like I said, we have exam 1 scheduled for the week of Feb 17th to 20th. We have second exam, uh, which is planned for March 31st to April 3rd. Of course, and grade breaking is in this table. You can find it also in syllabus. You have assignment, you have quizzes, you have 2 exams and 1 final exam. You have research presentation and course paper also. And exams are non-cumulative, meaning that when we are done with exam 1, you're done with that topic. I'm not gonna ask that topic in exam 2. Same wise with exam 2. And as you see these kind of breakdown, if you add them up, you'll see that it adds up to 115. And I'm not gonna scale it down to 100%, meaning that you already, based on syllabus, you're receiving 15% bonus, meaning that whatever you get out of these items, I'll just take this as your as your final, as your total. So I'm not gonna scale it down to 100. So there are 15% bonus, as you see here. Basically, I'm giving you the chance to get an A. Basically, if you lose something in your assignment, which may happen, or sometimes is the most frequent thing that happens. If you lose something in your assignment, you still have the chance to get full mark because you can make your 100% out of other items of the course. Okay, now let's talk about the videos that I'll be recording and attendance. So again, I would like to keep that communication, although this is an online course. But I want to make sure that you watch the videos I'm posting. How do I do that? I came up with the solution for that. When I'm recording the videos, at some point in the videos, I verbally say something which is the code for that video. And you are supposed to identify that code and enter that code in an assignment right after that video that looks like this. For example, if this is the video 1 of lecture 1, you'll watch this at some point. It might be minute 5 or 10 or whatever. You'll hear it code, and then you enter that code here. If you enter the code correctly, you'll be marked present. Otherwise, you'll be marked absent. And of course, we don't want to see a lot of absence. You can probably have 1 or 2, but not more than that. And you'll see it. It's very easy. In the very first lecture, I say that, and you'll enter it. Make sure that you enter it correctly. Those codes are case sensitive. I try to keep them simple so that you can enter them correctly. But even if you enter, you know the code and you enter it, for example, uh, you have a typo or whatever, you misenter it, you can use your second chance. That assignment allows you to enter the code twice. Even if, let's say, happens that you enter it twice wrong, you can email me saying that, hey, professor, I have watched this video and this is the code, I entered it, but it didn't take my present or whatever, and I can manually override that for you. Because again, the purpose is not the purpose is to make sure that you watch those videos, they don't pile up, and then when it comes to exam, you have a lot of videos. You gotta watch them week by week and walk with me through this course. Okay, yeah, that's all about what I had for this uh, logistics video. Please feel free to reach out if you have any question, and I'll be posting this video on our syllabus folder. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the day. I'm so excited to have this semester with you.